Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dave Raff with ReaganRadioNetwork.com and LakeoftheOzarksRadio.com. Today, on Now You're Talking, we have Sophia from Tennessee. And Sophia is going to tell her story, and we're going to call this segment 001. Sophia has been invited to various forums discussing her personal story living as a Christian in the Middle East. Her story tells the audience things they have never heard on the news outlets in America. She grips the audience attention, explaining the true meaning of what occurs to Christians rather than stories told by guests on various news outlets, has led Sophia to step forward to explain the truth. What inspires Sophia, more than anything regarding America, is the fact America gave her one thing she so dearly wants Americans to keep. She has her dignity back. She sees what is happening to America today and worries she may lose her dignity if Americans do not wake up and hear the truth about Sharia. Sophia speaks for the voiceless, the millions upon millions of innocents who do not have a voice any longer. Her message is to know and understand the truth, not discussed regarding Islam and the life of its founder, that punishment under Sharia is deadly. And I'd like to introduce Sophia from Tennessee. Hi, Sophia.
Hello, Dave, first, and hello, everybody. I'm happy to be with you, and thank you for the kind introduction. And I want to tell you that we can cover it, and then we can come later and we attach the references and original resources that we mentioned the story from.
Okay.
We can cover it in a general way, and then we can come back and talk about more details and link what happened earlier in the day to what's happening now also.
Okay, you sent me a video. Was that from this morning?
Yes, from that morning. I got it from Facebook, my friends in Facebook.
So that video you sent me, that it was an event that was taking place in Chicago, was from this morning.
Yes.
Wow.
And Dave, I prepared. I found a good verse in the Quran that actually could explain why we see the same pattern over and over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you want to start this? I've got your bullet points and your goals for today's show, and I did post that on Facebook. Do I need to pull that off?
No, we still can cover it.
Okay, well, I want to...
No.
You know, this is a very unique situation, ladies and gentlemen, to speak out and tell the truth about many Muslims and Islam and the history of what's going on. I mean, it's risky for us to be talking about it. And but if we don't talk about it, it's going to become even more risky for our citizens in this country, and that's what Sophia has explained to me. And so when she's willing to talk about it, and Sophia has talked to a number of our contributors on this radio station over the last, Sophia, 4 or 5 months? Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, and I'm going to say that Sophia speaks in front of many groups. She's very selective in who these groups are when she does speak in front of them, all the way from church groups to, can I say, the one that you're going to do on Saturday? You know?
Yes.
You know, all the way from church groups to families that are concerned with Common Core to to constitutional lawyers. Okay, so I would say that Sophia is in demand, but she's got to be careful, and we're careful with her. I don't know where she is, but we have qualified Sophia and her story, and but it's a bit of a moving target because I don't know if anybody has really outlined a story in the detail that you have been able to communicate. You're really a bit of a pioneer on this. Is that fair to say?
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say that, and it's my pleasure to share that with Americans. America, we're saving. Americans are very nice people. The vast majority of Americans are different than the individuals we see sometimes here and there in the media for political reasons. Americans are good people in general. And the first first Americans I met personally, I was at age 6, and they were missionaries at my church. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I was having that little poor kid look, yet they were so kind to me, and I felt the energy is a positive energy. I didn't understand what they were talking about, but I didn't feel that they were saying anything mean about me. And they gave me a few gifts. One of them was U.S. Air Force bin, and one of the missionary ladies, I had my tennis shoes with untied, and she bent down and she tied my shoes. She was very modest and humble, and this is what I find. The spirit of the American people is genuine, sweet, generous, and in most cases very modest and humble.
And would you throw the word loving in there too?
Absolutely. I was telling a friend of mine that before I'm going through troubles, because as you know, I'm an immigrant who has some troubles little here and there, and she right away said, I will help you. And I find that a lot. And you don't help unless you are have love in your heart toward people and strangers who are not related to you, or not even your friends sometimes. And Dave, my first job when I came here, and I learned English in back home, but of course was like my tongue was tied up. I can't speak English, and the customer were telling me, here is how you say it, here is how you say it. The teacher, when I went to school to learn English, she said, you will do well, go have a job, and you will learn English and you will make a living. So yes, they are very loving. Look at that. You don't see another country that they open their gates for different people to come and immigrate more than America. America is beautiful because the people of America are beautiful.
And, you've told me some things, and I don't want you to say anything that you're uncomfortable with, but weren't you about 30 years old or so when you came to the U.S.? Is that about, do I have that right?
I rather not say specific things,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I rather not, yes.
Okay, and but you've been here long enough to where you could learn the language. So you have, as an individual, you have a blessed mind where you can study things and you're able to retain it, almost like you have a photographic memory. That's your God-given capability. And you're able to reason and analyze with the volumes of information that you've researched. This is just something that you're capable of doing.
Thank God for it. If I have it, thank God for it, yeah. And thank you for it also, for saying that. Learning the language and learning the culture of America. I like the culture so much. I like the Thanksgiving dinners and the New Year's celebration and the Christmas celebration. And I can say I am culturally more American than my native culture.
You know, here you are, a little girl that remembers. I'm trying to think if I can remember anything at 6 years old. That I don't have a photographic memory, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just an average American. But you know, Sophia has that capability, and I think it would be a bit more shocking for someone that lives life and she experiences things, relationships with people. And then all of a sudden some people come in and they offer a care and a love and action that she's not used to seeing. That would be a very memorable point in someone's life, even at 6 years old. So, so it lack of better words, it scarred your mind, and you enjoyed that, you liked that, and you never forgot that. So.
No, actually the story, when I used to say it, it brings tears to my eyes and it gets me emotional. And I say sometimes I wish that lady can hear it one day and she will remember that because of this little kind deed, I am doing what I'm doing to be able to part of preserving America the way America should be, American way. So I'm so grateful for that lady. I wish she hears me, and I wish she know that I still appreciate what she did to me, and how very like the impact on me. That I adored America, and I got a chance to be in different place, but I love always to be in America.
Well, and you're a U.S. citizen, and you love the country. You've adapted to the country. You've blended in with the country. And I'm going to say, when you first got here, that you were more liberally minded because of, you know, the ease of having support. But as time went on, you became a bit more conservative in your thinking, and you saw the benefits of conservative thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking that I'm liberal, Dave, because the meaning of the words they use is different than what the intentions for it. When you say the word liberal, I was a oppressed person. And now I am liberated from the oppression. So definitely I am liberal. Definitely I am for liberty. But do they really mean liberty? The reality I found out later is not what they say, does not necessarily mean what their heart and mind is. And it wasn't easy to get out of the liberal, how you say it, liberal herd, if I can use this word, because I was belonging to the liberals by the way they welcome you and they shower you with different lies all the time, and you just believe the lies because you hadn't been told better, not because of the advantage that they gave. Thank God I didn't enroll in free everything once I came to America. I was having friends that were helping me, but the idea of the liberals, not only the free gifts or the freebies they gave, but the capability of saying and communicating lies and make it sound like truth, That's what's tricky about liberalism.
And here you are from a different country, and you didn't understand the language, and you're learning the culture, but you learn quick. And that's the reason why I want to bring this up at the beginning of our conversation, is because, and I don't know what period of time this is over. I don't know if you can share that or not, but I just want our listeners to know that Sophia's common sense came into play. She's learning a language. She's learning a culture. She's learning about, gifts, free things. And then all of a sudden, Sophia evolved into learning, okay, there's another way, there's another side of the story here in this amazing country. And you've adapted, you evolved, and found yourself with your natural way of thinking, even though you're from a different part of the world, to be drawn to the conservative way of thinking.
It wasn't short time. It did take years to find out that I am, in a way, conservative at heart, because I loved America when I thought I'm a liberal, and I loved America when I am a conservative, and I will always love America. And if I will have to give my life for America, I will definitely give my life for America. This is how much I love America. And even if America has problems, that doesn't bother me, and then I shouldn't blame it on America. But it was a turning point. Finally helped me to say, wait a second, if those people are wrong in this in that thing, which I know for sure they are wrong in a lot of things. And then I went back and I found out everything they were saying is just a lie, but because you don't know better, you believed it. I always watch it, the congressional hearing, and I see Nancy Pelosi, and I was an admirer of Nancy Pelosi, and the way she talks, she always on the poor person's side, different than the Republican who always on the bad side, no matter what. And I believed that they always, okay, I came from a poor country, very poor, a very poor person, and I, as a poor person, I need help. And somebody like a Democrat willing to help and fighting for that versus a Republican who is not willing to help. This is the message I was getting. I wasn't getting the message that just wait here. Maybe one of them is right, one of them is wrong. Why I don't hear the other side? But I didn't even give myself a chance to hear the other side, because they play in the emotions of people, especially the Democrats. They play with the emotions, not with the factual, not with facts, not with they don't rational things for you. They make it emotional for you, and through the emotions, it becomes irrational to you.
And I think it's important for folks to hear this part of the conversation, how the reasoning has worked in Sophia's mind, because you've never possibly heard her before. You might have heard her when Kelly had Sophia on her show. You might have listened to Sophia when Stacy had her on her show. But I don't know if we got into the logic of Sophia's mind. And to me, that's important. When you understand the culture of the mind of the individual that you're communicating with, then you can almost anticipate or trust to a different level when you have that understanding with someone. And so that's why I'm wanting to get this out there, is that Sophia's mind is not a whole lot different than my thinking. She's smarter than I am. I mean, good grief, she can read something one time and retain it. Okay.
Oh no.
And that's rare, all right?
No, fair. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Well, it's not that, Sophia. To me, it's not bragging when you can do it. Okay, it's a matter of reality, and I don't take any offense to it because I have my own unique skills. Okay, fortunately, I can recognize someone when they have an ability. I mean, maybe that's my skill, but your skill is that you can read something one time, retain it. You surround yourself with people that are very good, and you sit down with them and talk with them. Your reasoning with those people that you trust all of a sudden takes you a few more steps up the ladder, if you will, of knowledge and trust and your presentation. And that's what you've been doing. You have a goal. You know, if I can speak for you a little bit, and if I speak wrong, straighten me out, but you have a goal to communicate the truth about Islam, Muslims, and the reality in the higher percentages of this population. Do I have that right?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes, it's like if you live for one thing and you have one main topic in your heart and mind. I live for telling the truth about Islam. I lived it. I've been tormented by the teaching of Islam. I'm a victim of the great persecution, and I tell people, if hell existed, I lived it. Living in Islamic majority community, society, country is no different than living in hell. And I want to stop that from happening everywhere else, and I want to stop it definitely from happening in America, and it's easy to stop it if you understand it, and it's not hard to understand it either.
And I'm going to bring up in it a person's name that a lot of people in America know, and that's Cheryl Atkinson. Okay, Cheryl is an author,
yeah.
And she's written a book. I don't recall the name right now, but she was a journalist for CBS News, and one of her a very wise move that Cheryl made, because she knew things about Benghazi. She knew things about the situation with I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was the firearms that were going into the hands of drug runners.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that name is. I should. I've talked about it 1,000 times, but it's escaping me right now. But she had some knowledge about that. And to me, what saved her life and kept her in the journalism field is she wrote a book about it. And she did this discreetly, and she was able to get the book written, and she surrounded herself with people that loved her and protected her. And that's what that's what you're doing. And to me, that's what Kelly Carlson went through when she was being stalked and her life was threatened, and she hired Tracker Dan to protect her, and which she ended up marrying Tracker Dan later on. But you know, you gotta. There's some people in this country, unfortunately, that want to see harm to you. They want to control your message. They want to control your freedom of speech because it dampens their mission, and they will hurt you or kill you for it. And by communicating this and getting it out there and having it available, then we've come to this conclusion together, didn't we? That is a better protection. And if they do something to us, so be it. But the importance of the topic here is worth that possibility, isn't it, Sophia?
Yeah, Dave, wasn't an old practice that old people, before they get wiped out by a different invader or enemy who came to invade their place or country back in the day, they used to write also their own history and bury it somewhere, hoping for the kids later to find out, discover that and civilization again.
We cut out just a little bit there. Can you repeat those last couple of sentences there, Sophia?
Yes. I think that isn't that writing a book or writing your concern and warning was also an old practice by the wise people before they get wiped out by a foreign invader. Write their history and bury it somewhere like a vault, hoping for their grand ancestors to discover it and revive their history again and revive their civilization again. It's just very smart, it's very wise to, before you go out and become a hero and tomorrow you no longer exist, to write your warning and have it for generations like an archive. Maybe your generation might not use it, but it would be like an archive.
Well, there you go. So I'm not as aware of that as you are, but to me it just makes sense. It's a type of peace through strength, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my dad told me that, and interesting enough that some Christians in the Middle East, they have a tattoo cross or a cross tattooed in their right hand. And my dad told me they developed that practice because when the Muslims were killing the parents and taking the children as slaves, the children later will grow up and know that they don't belong to the Islamic community